We're talking about Seth Rollins. If I'm being honest here, Seth Rollins was the guy that I thought had accidentally left his head on a park bench when the paint was drying, and he had that white little streak in his hair. But I mean, that's just Seth. If I'm being honest here. Ugh. Hello, my wrestling friends and family. I'm Tyler here, resigning from Terrier Mania, and welcome back to Do You Remember? This is a show where we go back and look at the wacky and crazy world of professional wrestling. If you missed our last episode on Do You Remember When the Nexus Died in One Night, link will be in the description, and remember to subscribe to Terrier TV. Now, on this episode, we'll be talking about the heist of the century, one of the most famous cash-ins in WWE history. Today, I want to see if you remember when Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract at WrestleMania 31. So to kick off this episode, we're going to look back at the wonderful year of 2013. Cast your mind back to WrestleMania 30, where Daniel Bryan competed in 2 matches on WrestleMania, first defeating Triple H in the beginning of the show, then going on to compete in the triple threat for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton and Dave Bautista. In that match, Daniel Bryan tapped out Dave Bautista to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We all remember this as the crowning moment for Daniel Bryan, but if we really look back at it, he only defended his title twice, if you really think about it. The first being on Monday Night Raw, he didn't defeat him. I don't know. Monday Night Raw, nonetheless. Triple H, of course, being upset that he got his butt kicked in the previous match. Look at this picture right here. He's getting his butt kicked. So yeah, he challenged him for the world title, and then that's when I believe it was Randy Orton, Kane, and Batista came out to try to interfere in the match, and then down came the Shield. Roman Reigns then speared Triple H, starting the feud between the Shield and Evolution. That would run for 2 consecutive pay-per-views, with the Shield defeating Evolution both times. Daniel Bryan then defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Kane at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. After this, the Authority were then forced to strip Daniel Bryan of his World Heavyweight title due to multiple injuries and him not being a fighting champion. During all of this, we unfortunately had the Shield breakup, where Seth Rollins would turn on his Shield mates, hitting them in the backs with chairs, and going on to join Triple H and Randy Orton in Plan B. Moving on now to Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank had 2 ladder matches that night, one for the Money in the Bank briefcase, and the other to crown a brand new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, because remember, Daniel Bryan was stripped of his title. In the Money in the Bank match, Seth Rollins would win the Money in the Bank contract with help from Kane, and in the championship ladder match, John Cena would end up winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because Big Match John always wins. So after winning the Money in the Bank contract, Seth Rollins would then go into mini feuds with the likes of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and some other people. You know, Seth was very disliked at this time, being called Justin Bieber, sellout. Nobody liked Seth, but basically. Moving on to SummerSlam, and Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena to become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Cena was pretty much maybe a transitional champion, so nobody was really shocked that Cena didn't win, basically. Plus, look at Brock. You beat him. We skip ahead in time to the Royal Rumble, where it's Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, going up against John Cena, going up against Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Brock Lesnar would win by suplexing, and dominating and pinning Seth Rollins after an F5. And that same night, Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, which some people might argue is one of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time? I think there's been worse. Royal Rumble 2022, anybody? Just saying. Just saying. Roman Reigns then won the Royal Rumble, guaranteeing him a main event shot at Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But before we get to WrestleMania, there's a roadblock. Daniel Bryan returned from his injuries and challenged Roman Reigns for his spot at WrestleMania, which personally I didn't like because it made Bryan look like some kind of like a crybaby, but I'm not a professional wrestler, so maybe that's just me. After defeating Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, the WrestleMania 31 main event was set. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But before we get to that match, at the beginning of WrestleMania, Seth Rollins took on Randy Orton when they had a feud that was bubbling under the surface for quite some time, which featured one of the greatest RKOs I've ever seen. Sorry, Seth. Seth's night looked to be in shambles. Nothing could help Seth. Or could it? We move on to the main event. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar whooped that boy. Brock Lesnar showed Roman no mercy. Roman only got maybe a couple of moves in before he went on a flurry in the end of the match. But here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Both men are down. Roman Reigns, after hitting Brock with a Superman punch, both men are down. But suddenly, out from the back, Mr. Black and Yellow Hair, Seth Rollins, runs out with the Money in the Bank contract, cashes it in, stomps Roman Reigns, and just like that, Seth Rollins is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. This has been regarded as one of the best cash-ins in WWE history, and I have to agree, because when you really look at it, what are any other memorable cash-ins? If you think about it, not John Cena's, but that one night, Seth went from losing in the opener to leaving the night as champion, which shows that in wrestling, anything can happen. Of course, that was the time that Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract and became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Do You Remember? Of course, if you have anything that you want me to cover on Do You Remember, leave a comment down below, DM me on Instagram at ChaseTheBagTy, and I will be happy to talk about it on Do You Remember? And of course, I'm Tyler, hailing from Terrier Mania. Don't forget to check out our latest videos here on SFC Terrier TV. Follow us on Instagram at SFC Terrier TV. And of course, I'll catch you on the next one.